Hi, thank you for viewing our presentation. We're going to be presenting a proposal on a plan to incorporate artificial intelligence education in classrooms. We are Team Lemon Bar consultants. And so in our research project, we are going to be researching several big topics about AI usage in the field of education, such as issues with AI, using AI to cheat, usage of generative AI to write things like essays and answer homework problems, and problems with information given by AI being unreliable or inaccurate. In this project, we will be looking into how a lack of AI incorporation in education in the classroom would create issues of unethical usage. We aim to address why AI should be included in education and how knowledge of AI can help students know how to use it properly, as well as having the capacity to know how to use it ethically. AI is gaining more and more traction and entering more fields, especially healthcare, science, research, finance, and business. Students need to have knowledge and practice in AI to help them in their futures. So our main research question now is, how are people bringing AI into the classrooms, and what are their main concerns, with the following sub-questions of how does the usage of AI in education affect learning, and how can AI help teachers in the classroom? We are planning on we've been doing diligent web searches to research the questions, but also conduct interviews with education professionals and conducting surveys. This will help us to gather the data we need.
Perfect. So going off of what Olivia said and our purpose of informing not only the educators and students about how AI is being used in the education, we also want those around the educational system to know what's going on with AI, like guardians and the room board within the education system, um, to know what to potential dangers and what to look out for, but also how it should be used and the right way to use AI. Um, Teachers are using AI as a tool to reduce the amount that they have to do in order to focus more on their students and the education they're giving them. Examples of this is teachers are using AI to create lesson plans, generate emails, or even creating quizzes to help generate even just ideas to what type of questions to ask students, since they could get a better understanding if they upload past exams or past materials. Teachers are also able to now have a balance to focus on their students and the education. And teachers also have challenges with AI, with kind of on going off of what Olivia was saying on how AI is being used and how students are using it, whether that's completing their homework or whatnot. But AI is not always 100% true information. So we want students to learn how to use AI not only to cheat, but gain experience on how to use it as a helpful tool.
So in our research into AI, we kind of came across two main points. The first one is that AI provided information is not necessarily reliable. It's not dependable. AI tends to have an issue with reinforcing biases that come from the information that it learns from. So a lot of times it will reinforce biases regarding things like race, religion, or sex. It can mix up real and fake information a lot of the time, and sometimes it will just generate new, like, quote unquote facts and then give them to whoever's asking the question as like a fact. It does, however, have some potential in assisting with education. It's shown itself to be quite useful in helping students basically review their material and make sure that they know what they're studying, and they can ask it questions that they might not be uh, confident enough to ask their teacher about. This does have some limits because the AI might not be able to understand more complex questions, but when they are kept more simply asked, it can be very helpful.
So the current status of our project is we have started our researching our secondary sources and building a master bibliography. And we've also begun planning our primary research. We have emailed a few teachers and are waiting for a response to see if they would like to be interviewed and are willing to help us out with our research. We have our white paper draft outline going in progress, and we're making good work with that. We're working on our progress report presently as we speak and getting that taken care of. And we're also analyzing the data that from the research that we have conducted so far. We have left to do is interviewing with the teacher once we get one to agree to talk to us, which will hopefully be soon. And we're working on our then we'll just have to work on our white paper final draft and turn that in at the end of the semester here. In our assessment of progress, our research was conducted on the following questions. How are educators bringing AI into the classrooms and what are their main concerns? How can AI help teachers? How is AI unreliable and how do its inaccuracies affect students? And how does the use of AI in education affect students' learning? And with these research questions, we were able to pull a lot of data and find a lot of good, reliable sources, and we are making good work on this project.
A quick brief overview of our updated schedule. Last week was very research focused. We each submitted memos summarizing our research about different questions under a research topic, like mentioned earlier. And this week is about a lot of organization. This week is a great chance for us to organize what we've already done and see what we have left and how we're going to go about it. And then next week, we'll include finalizing details on our research and outlining the information that we need on our white paper and completing a rough draft to submit. And then some potential problems we might face in this project that might prevent us from finishing on time is poor time management. We're all college students and most of us have other classes and other responsibilities or commitments outside of this class and outside of this project. So issues with time allocation, how much time each of us spends on this project could be a problem. But we've already worked to combat this problem by communicating often and having team members choose parts of weekly assignments that they want to do and are able to do, so they aren't doing too much and they're just taking off what they can handle. And so long as we keep this up, this problem won't derail us or prevent us from not finishing on time. And then inadequate research. Since our topic is not too niche and is relevant to students and educators today, we should be able to find more quality sources on top of some of the sources we've already found. And focusing on the steps we've learned in our weekly readings to determine appropriate sources will definitely strengthen our report. And then some technical issues, things could come up at any time. So we just need to prepare for that by having work completed, ideally having assignments done the day before it's due, or at least a couple hours before the deadline so that we have some time to fix potential issues that may come up. Then in conclusion, as we finish up our progress report, we see that we've got a good start on our secondary research. We have a good plan to get started on our primary research as soon as we can. And then we have a good direction for our research as we dive into how AI is being used in education, how we can educate our audience on its benefits and the limitations to be aware of when incorporating it into education.